Papa Swoleo, Papa Swoleo. Reppin' for 392, episode 392. Welcome to Flex Friday. Let me get you a little bit in there. Boom. Ooh. Boom, boom.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
The heartbeat of the interwebs. Boom, 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 boom. Papa Swole's alive. We're alive and we're flexing. Owns the Friday. Welcome everyone to episode 392 of the Daily Motherfucking Swole. The most muscular live cast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. Gun show, large and in charge. Welcome to the Daily Swole. Welcome to the Daily Swole Club. Make sure that you use the Daily Swole Club to your advantage, because you can win some awesome shit. Like a one-on-one, like a program, like a t-shirt. You can win some awesome stuff. So make sure that you like and share this broadcast and use the hashtag Daily Swole Club in your awesome comment. So stand out from the crowd. Say something cool. Say something worthwhile. Help the community. Help the community. Today's episode, 392, is going to be fire. It's going to be lit like a tit. Got my coffee. Got my gains. Obviously, always got the gains. Always got the gains. Always got the gains. Got the nips. Everything's hard. Everything is on point. Bing, bing. Everything's going, because I'm going to talk about muscles. Muscles, what muscles are most important? Which muscles are most important in your training? Which muscles are most important for your fitness? Let's get a little bit into the basics, just for those of you that might be joining for the first time. Some of you just jumped into premium. Some of you just jumped into the 90-day dash program, because I am running that special that ends tonight at midnight. The link is in the description. And this kind of has a little bit to do with educating those of you that are starting the program today, those of you that have been in the program, those of you that are just finding this for the first fucking time, because you need to know this information. And a lot of you don't know this because no one tells you. It's not like you go to the gym. What happens when you go to the gym? You get a membership and they say, hey, you want a free session with the personal trainer? And you're like, no. But they're like, I'll tell you what, it's free. You try it out. Sammy over here is going to show you the machines. Hey, yo, Sammy, come show this guy how to use, start him over there, give him the warm-up, give him the tour kind of thing. And you're like, oh, great, I got to go with fucking Sammy over here. And, he's going to show me how to ejercicio, So, but they don't tell you. And when you go on Google, you're like, how to work out, how to exercise. You're not taught any of this, It's not like it's in one spot. That's why I'm here. That's why we're repping fucking gains. That's why we're educating. That's why we're learning. And that's why we're doing the right shit without the bullshit, cutting out the fluff, because you don't need it. You're busy. You don't have a lot of time. You need the right information. You need the stuff that is factual. You need the stuff that you can apply without the extra garbage. So you got muscles. You got a body, right? This is you. This is you, right? You're sad. No gains. You don't got gains. You're sad. Look at you. No gains. What? You want gains. You're like, I have an idea. Gains. Maybe I'll get gains. Okay. So you want some gains. Very cool. That's fine. All right. So what are you going to do? You're going to start exercising. But here's the thing. Let's talk a little bit about the human body. Let's start from the ground up. The human body is made of different types of muscles, and you probably know that you have over 600 muscles. Actually, you probably don't know that. Most people don't know that you have over 600 muscles, and some people have muscles that other people don't. Some people have bigger muscles than other people, you know what I'm saying? And some people have different concentrations of these different muscles. So you have what's known as, you got type 1, and you got type 2. You got type 1 and type 2 fibers. So this is going to be very general. This can be very kind of overview. I'm not going to get super specific, but you have two different types of muscle fibers. So in the muscles, in pretty much every single muscle, you have a different concentration of different fiber types. You're gonna have muscles that are more designed for one activity and other muscles that are more designed for another activity. And that's what the beauty of the body is that you don't have just muscle that does everything. You have certain muscles that have specific traits in order to overcome, let's say, walking long distances or lifting a heavy thing off the ground. So your body is very adept and very good at using a combination of type 1 and type 2, or muscle A and muscle B, in order to cause an effect. Your body is very good at not putting all its chips in one basket. You understand? All its chips in one basket. If you have a little bit of chips here, a little bit of chips here, you can use both baskets in order to do a multitude of different tasks. And yeah, it's type fast twitch and slow twitch. That's like the layman's term. So you have this over here. You got slow, and you got fast. And that's just a fucking basic term. It doesn't mean that they contract slow. It just means that they're different. So type 1 and type 2 is more appropriate, slow and fast. This is more for endurance. It doesn't mean they contract slow. It just means that they have more endurance. They can last longer, but they have low force output. And there's many different aspects of like where the muscle is, where the lever is, where, you know, where the force is and the torque and where the axis of rotation. That's all biomechanics. And, yeah, in physics, not going to get too much into that right now. The fast twitch has more power, so more force, but then it has less endurance. So these are more for explosive activity, lifting something heavy, but you can't do it over and over again for a long period of time. So you're either really strong and you can't last long, or you're slower, less force output, you can't create as much internal tension, and of course it has to do with where the muscle's located and all those other things, but the endurance is higher. So this is why a lot of people have trouble growing muscles like their forearms or your calves, because muscles like the calves have low force output, but they have greater endurance. They're not designed specifically to grow large in size. It's hard to stimulate growth because they're not designed for it. And that's where the genetics come into play. That's where, you know, training comes into play. That's just how, you know, what you're born with, what percentage of type 1 and type 2 fibers. And sometimes they can switch and change and kind of act like the other one a little bit, but you're almost pretty much born with what you're born with. That's why some people will have skinny calves no matter how hard they try, small forearms no matter how hard they try. People are different. You can only train things so much out of your genetic realm. So you have type 1 and type 2 fibers. Now, what is important about this is that in your pectoralis major, you're gonna have type 1 and type 2. In your lats, you're gonna have type 1 and type 2. In your calves, you'll have type 1 and type 2. It's not 100%. The only muscles that are more 100% type 1 or slow twitch is muscles like your diaphragm that are just repetitious breathing. It's pretty much 100% type 1. I don't even know if there's any type 2. You could check that fact. You could Google it. Someone out there knows more about the percentage of the muscle fibers in the diaphragm than Papa Swolio. But you get the point. It's designed just to, increase and decrease the volume and the volume in the thoracic cavity to allow for the change in atmospheric pressure to allow air to come in and air to escape, thus you're breathing. So it's not designed for force, it's designed for doing this fucking for 100 years, right? So you'll have type 1 and type 2 fibers. Okay? So you have ones that are more for, we'll say, endurance, and then we'll say these are more for force. So you have like opposite ends of the spectrum here. But what I'm interested in is the interaction. And that's what we talk about here. That's what I'm talking about with Swolga and the 90-day dash, my fitness program. This is where we live. This is where Papa Swolio lives. This is my domain. Because what happens with people that train, that do a lot of weights, when you're producing force, what you're doing is you're increasing the internal force. Can I spell? No. Because when you have a weight, when you have resistance, you have an external force. So you have to, or an external, external force, you have to increase internal tension. I should say this, external force, but it's the, to overcome the external force, okay? So you have force coming in, and you're trying to create internal tension to overcome it, to lift the weight, to overcome the resistance. So then, over here, it's not so much. Okay, so we're talking about like running, more cardio type shit, yoga, opposite end of the spectrum, right? Yes, Diego, I'm excited for you, bro. Now, here's the kicker. When you're doing all strength training, all powerlifting, all heavy lifting, all bodybuilding, you create a lot of internal tension. There's no dissipation, and it can fuck your world up. And it comes out in the form of injuries, chronic pain, slip discs, all this shit that comes over time from just compression and just fucking wear. Just wear. Cartilage breaks down, just fucking wear, hammering away, right? But then over here, you have almost that yin and yang. You have that balance. You have that endurance. You have that decrease in tension. I'm not saying there won't be any tension in the muscles, but the muscles and the stabilizers and the muscles that are worked largely when you activate type 1 are the muscles that are usually inside your rotator cuff, your hip rotators, the muscles along your spine. When you get hurt, you don't pull a deltoid. You don't tear your pec. You hurt your rotator cuff. When you have pain here, it's your rotator cuff. It's not your deltoid, right? It's not what you see. It's not the deltoid, it's the rotator cuff inside. When you hurt your back, it's not, oh, I tore my lat. No, you injured something like on your spine, one of the multifidus or longissimus muscles, or the muscles deep inside the hip. You have issues with your sciatic nerve. You have issues with your piriformis, deep external rotator of the hip, all the way in there, deep. That's what she said. So where do you find this balance? Where do you find this balance, and how do you train for this balance? Well, let me explain. The way you can train for this balance is to focus right here, okay? Now, this picture can very easily turn into like boobs or balls and a penis, so I'm gonna avoid that at all costs. I'm really gonna try to avoid turning this into a huge picture of a dick. I'm just being honest, I'm consciously there's probably about 25% of my brain is focusing on not making this a dick pic on purpose. If it happens, so be it. So be it. I'm just the messenger. I'm just the messenger. Like if the world wants this to become a big penis, it'll become a big penis. No judgment here. It's a Daily Swole. There's always D somewhere, right? So it's like, where's Waldo? It's like, find the D. Can you find the D? Dun, 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 dun. Move it around. Like, this is easily going to turn into a dick pic. We all, should I just do this? Should I just finish it and just get it out there in the open? Because it's out there already. It's already there. It was coming. It was coming. Get it? It's coming. This guy. So we have to live here. We got to live in the middle. So how do we do that? We combine them. Oh, genius. You already drew the combination. But we combine them. It's here. And right here you have we got yoga, mobility, flexibility, things like meditation. I'm not going to put massage, I'm going to put SMR because that says massage. Foam rolling and stuff, okay? You have that coming from this angle. Over here, you have flexibility, SMR. Then over here, you have more bodybuilding. You have strength. I guess you could say endurance, more strength, power. Hypertrophy is a part of strength. Hypertrophy, muscle size. So you got to combine these things. And one of the problems is people live too much here and they build too much tension and they hurt themselves, or they work too much here, too much repetitive injury, too much running, too much cycling, too much not enough size, skinny fat, right? You know, so you can see when people are here too much, I don't have enough muscle tone, I feel soft, I'm so bulky, I'm stiff, I have pain, my shoulder hurts, my back hurts, blah, 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 I've been squatting and deadlifting, blah, blah. So it has to be here. So how do you combine these two things? How do you combine these two things in order to serve you best? And one of the things that I came up with, of course, you know, one of the things is my 90-day dash program that does this perfectly. I shouldn't say perfectly, it does it very, very well. And those of you that are in the 90-day dash, drop the comment below. And this applies perfectly, it applies to anything, okay? But you need a structure that's going to balance these two worlds, because if you want aesthetics, if you want mobility, if you don't want to be in pain, because no matter what you choose, it has to be for life. It has to be for life. Resistance training, very important, if not essential for everyone, for bone density, for functionality, for leg strength, for motor function when you get older. Like essential. You need to do resistance training. Mobility, longevity, recovery, essential. You need to be able to rotate freely in all planes of motion as long as you can for balance, support, so you don't fall and break your hip. You need to plan for the future. You need to plan for the future. Like, the future's coming. The future is now. Ah, the future is now. Stupid fucking phrases, but it's also true. The future is now. It's right now. Every time we say now, it's the future. It's going forward, whether you like it or not. I'm getting older. You're getting older. We're all dying right now. Slowly dying. That got dark really quick, but moving on. So that being the case, we need to create a situation where these are the priority. These are both the priority. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to make both of these things a priority at the same time? Programming. We're going to program it. And that's what I did with the 90-day dash. This is going to be a program. And the reason why I keep on saying that is because I don't have time to explain all of this today. And I'm not going to sit here and fucking pitch a program every day. That's not what I do. I like dropping knowledge nukes. But I'm also saying it because today is the last day I'm running that special offer, which is in the description, like on the program that covers this. So if you want more information, if you want to take advantage of these facts, you have that opportunity. That's the only reason why I'm saying it. This is what you need to do when you approach your fitness. Because what it comes down to is this. This is you. This is your life. And that's you dead. You're dead because you don't have a body. You got decapitated. Apparently. Okay? I'll make you happy right now because you're still alive. This needs to have that. You see how it's almost a dick? This needs to have that combination. Because the name of the game, whether you are 20 years old and you're watching this, whether you're 40 or whether you're 60 and watching this, that's the name of the game. I'm sorry. I don't care what game you're playing. I don't care what your goal is. I don't care if you like to do CrossFit, if you like to swim, if you like to paint fucking pictures, if you like to, you know, do carpentry. It doesn't matter. The name of the game is longevity. Because what happens is if you're not healthy enough, if you're not physically active enough, if you're not strong enough, if you don't have longevity, the things you enjoy most, whether or not, if it's fitness, if that's not your number one thing you enjoy, don't you still want to do something you enjoy for the rest of your life? What if you like painting? Don't you want to paint for many, many years and be healthier for that? It's all about living healthier for longer. You're not going to live to be 120 unless they create something amazing in the next like 10, 15 years. Chances are you're not going to live to be 120. You're going to die when you're 80, 90, like the way humans go. Okay? We're not there yet. But are you going to be healthy until that point? Are you going to be healthy until you're 70 or 80, or you could be in a wheelchair and on medication? So it's about combining these things physically now, implementing mobility, implementing stabilization exercises, implementing those deep core musculature. And I'm not talking about doing crunches because that shit doesn't work. You're not going to get abs by doing crunches. I'm sorry, it's not going to happen. Not to mention, most ab exercises are actually bad for you because they create an improper movement that causes more pressure on the spine than benefit. A lot of you probably don't know that, but most ab exercises are not going to help you get abs, and they're going to actually hurt your back rather than help it. So you need to be activating the muscles properly. You need to be doing proper core exercise. I've done many episodes on what the core actually is. The core is not the six-pack. That's not what the core is. So the core has to be focused on. The stabilizers have to be focused on. And your life and your training has to be focused on longevity. And focusing on longevity and focusing on the proper things over and over again for the long term is the only way you're going to be doing this in 10, 15, 20 years. I swear, accidents happen, shit happens, but you're going to get hurt, you're going to regret it, and I don't want you to be one of those people that gets fucked up and looks back and like, oh shit, I wish I listened to Papa Swolio, I wish I did the program, or I wish I started doing, Swolga, which is my Swole yoga group. I wish I started doing mobility, I wish I started doing stabilization. Don't be that person that looks back and realizes, oh, fuck. That's why these people do fucking yoga until they're older with weight training. That's why you want the best of both worlds, and you can have it. You just got to train it that way. You got to alternate, you got to mix it, and you got to progress it properly. But you have to do it the right way. So thank you so much for joining me for episode 392 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Look at that. Boom, boom. Boom, boom. The heartbeat is in the gun show. Thanks for joining me for all these knowledge nukes. Lit like a tit, going balls deep today as always. I think I avoided drawing a penis, so totally fucking cool. If you did the Daily Swole Club, remember, thank you. You have to like and share the broadcast, and you have to use the hashtag Daily Swole Club with an awesome comment. Gonna go live on Instagram to announce the winner, so check over there to see if you are the winner of today's Daily Swole, excuse me, that was me, club. And those of you that have not gotten your shit together and gotten on a good, solid fitness program, whether on my mailing list or you're checking this out here for the first time, link is in the description. That special offer for $97 is only good until 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So midnight tonight, boom, it goes back to $247 like it always does, and I might not drop it again. I'm always debating whether or not I'm going to keep on offering specials because it is worth so much more. It's worth this. It's worth longevity. So if you're still looking for a program, that is what you want to start with. It's awesome, and you'll see the comments. People love the fuck out of it. And you can check the reviews here. I don't know if you guys know this, or ladies, you can check the reviews here on my Facebook page. You'll see a ton of stuff about premium and about the 90-day dash. But it's about this 1 and 2. It's about combining. It's about that little white space in the middle, and it's about longevity. And once you start thinking about lifting forever, you start, and patience and where you're going, you start looking at your fitness a lot differently. You stop trying to get six-pack abs because that's a fucking pipe dream that doesn't, it comes as a result of taking care of your body. Getting muscle, it comes as a result of getting fit and for the long term. You start looking at these stupid short-term aesthetic goals. They're temporary, and it's not the right way to look about your fitness. So it's super, super, super important. So if you want to jump on that special offer, link is in the description. 30-day guarantee. I mean, it's a life guarantee, fucking practically. I mean, it's fucking awesome. So 30-day guarantee, nothing to lose, everything to gain. Trust me, it's a great place to start, especially on a Friday when, you're going to get people pulling at you in all different directions, people trying to shove shit food down your throat, go out, get drinks, and just fucking kill yourself. Why don't you take the high road to health? It's important. It's important for you. It's important for your kids. Start today. Don't wait. Get your fitness on the right track. I'll see you on Instagram for the After Swole party, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 12 noon East time for episode 393. Enjoy the rest of your Flex Friday. Peace, McGee's, deuce, Magoose. I'll see you on Instagram in a couple moments at Swolenormous. If you haven't joined me there, I'll check you in a few.